Hello everyone, my name is Deshaun, and today I am here to give you my thoughts, or so much so not thoughts, a proclamation. I'm here to give you what I think is gonna happen in the coming year of 2020. Yes, my first I think this will be my first video I've made in the year 2020. So happy New Year to everyone. I hope you guys had a safe New Year's. I know I sure did. Maybe I shouldn't have at my age, but hey, whatever. I'm here to talk about the comic book movies of this year. Now, this year is going to be a big year. This year's going to be kind of a down year, sorta, because last year was so titanic. I mean, Marvel Studios alone had almost $5 billion. I believe Marvel Studios did have $5 billion, like, in combined revenue of Spider-Man Far From Home, Endgame, and Captain Marvel. But I've heard a lot of people, and I've talked about this before, thinking that Marvel's this year's gonna be DC's, and that this is gonna be an off year for Marvel because some people don't care, and all these other things. And this video, I just kind of left the gun behind on this video. This video is why Black Widow will make $1 billion. Personally, I think that a lot of people are sleeping on Black Widow. I think that a lot of people think that because she died, and because it's not an Avengers, and because there's no Avengers movie build up, because they haven't, told us anything about this movie's building to the Avengers. Even though if Disney had come out, Marvel had come out and said the Avengers, this Avengers movie is happening and this movie is building up to the Avengers, all those people who are saying that no one cares about this movie because it's not building up to the Avengers would have flipped their opinions and said, "Boo! This movie is just an appetizer for the Avengers, so it doesn't stand on its own." But I digress. We know. We've already talked about how some people are, when it comes to the MCU, a lot of people tend to be kind of really hypocritical about what they say and how they say it and how they even talk about the MCU. But I digress. Like I said, digress. I believe Black Widow is going to be the highest grossing comic book movie of this year. And it could potentially be the highest grossing film of this year because I haven't really looked at it, but depending on how Mulan does in China and depending on how Wonder Woman does, I believe Black Widow has the potential to be the highest grossing film this year and the highest grossing comic book movie this year. And I have evidence to back this up. See, I got in a conversation with someone on YouTube in a chat, and just in the comment section, and they said the same thing. It's like, a lot of DC fans, and not DC fans. There are good DC fans out there, obviously, but the hardcore DCEU fanboys, they don't run off of facts. I run off of facts. I run off of evidence. They just go opinion. I think this is happening. I want this to happen. I don't do that. Not really. Not when I'm talking about stuff. I go, this is the evidence that I've seen, and this is the conclusion I've come to. I could be wrong about that conclusion. That's okay. But I don't, try to will something into existence because I disagree. Like, there's some people who literally are like, nobody cares about, such and such, even though evidence to the contrary. There are people who literally are like, this movie's terrible, and everyone is a child for liking it, and it's like evidence to the contrary. Like, you know what I mean. When it comes to Marvel, there's a lot of that. So, but I'm going to give you straight evidence that Black Widow is going to make $1 billion. Sorry, I went on that long diatribe. You guys know how I am. But Black Widow is, as of right now, the trailer. There have been 3 comic book movie trailers that have come out, like big movie trailers. Birds of Prey, Black Widow, and then the Wonder Woman trailer. The Birds of Prey trailer came out a month before the Wonder Woman trailer came out. It has 20 million views and something along the lines of 79,000 likes. Solid for a starting teaser trailer. The Wonder Woman trailer has 22 million views, or I think it's up to like 23, maybe 24 by now. Over 2,500 likes. Solid. The Black Widow trailer has 38 million views and has 1.5 million likes. Do you see a gap here? And I know some people are saying trailers don't mean anything, but do you want to know what the top 5 most liked movie trailers are? I won't go all five, but I'll tell you the three that's in. Black Widow is the fourth most liked movie trailer of all time on YouTube. Do you know the three that are ahead of it? Infinity War, Endgame, and Far From Home. All movies made $1 billion or more. So it really got me thinking when I was looking at these views, and I'm hearing people say they're looking more forward to Wonder Woman or they're looking more forward to Birds of Prey. Well, I'm like, well, apparently you're the only one, because when you put the trailer of the hype, like the likes and dislikes and the hype numbers like next to each other, the actual numbers that I could see, I'm like, well, like everything's going Black Widow. And also more tangible things other than just numbers is, you got to understand, Scarlett Johansson is probably going to get an Oscar nomination for either Marriage Story or Jojo Rabbit. So she's going to be, so at this moment she's the biggest star between Gal Gadot and Margot Robbie. And she's going to be shown on a lot of stuff because she's Scarlett Johansson. She's the highest paid actress in Hollywood. She's pretty much the biggest actress in Hollywood right now. In terms of wealth and recognition, she's pretty much up there. Also, this is the first movie of Phase 4. And there's some people who say that, oh, this movie's not going to make that much money because people don't understand that Marvel isn't over after Endgame. But the problem with that is that Spider-Man Homecoming came right after Endgame and made over $1 billion, which basically kind of puts the kibosh on the idea that no one's gonna go watch, Marvel might fail, or, oh, this might be the end of Marvel because people quitting after Endgame, because otherwise Spider-Man Far From Home doesn't make $1.1 billion. It only made that money because it was happening after Endgame. And the fact that people went to see that and liked it so much, I mean, it has a higher audience score than actual Avengers does. So the fact that people went to see it and liked it so much, it kind of lends it to evidence. And that's why I say there's feeling and then there's evidence. There's no evidence anyone's tired of Marvel. There's no evidence that no one's gonna not go see Black Widow in droves. There's no evidence that people are done watching Marvel and don't think they want to watch Endgame. After Endgame happened, they're just done and marveled out. There's no evidence that Marvel is gonna be overloading the people with with too much Marvel stuff. There's no evidence that Marvel being more connected with their television shows on Disney Plus will overwhelm people. That's the problem with kind of news around Marvel lately, is like everything's just opinionated and there's no real evidence behind it. But the facts are, the last movie, the movie did happen after Endgame. It was called Spider-Man Far From Home, and it made $1.1 billion. Black Widow is starring perhaps the biggest female star going right now, who is probably going to get an Oscar nomination. And Black Widow is also the first movie in Phase 4, which Marvel is going to promote the hell out of, which means everyone's, in the last time a Marvel movie came out, by the time that Black Widow comes out in May, the last Marvel movie that would have come out would be Spider-Man Far From Home, and it would have been a 10-month span. Think about that for a second. I don't know what, it kind of bugs me that I heard so many people talk about Marvel fatigue when there hasn't been a Marvel movie since July, and there won't be one until May. So, anticipation for something Marvel will be at a feverish pitch. I don't think people will be tired because they would have had 10 months to recover from Endgame. I don't think people will be tired, and like I said, Spider-Man Homecoming is the indication of anything, that people are okay with moving on, that more people understand that the story is continuing, that this is the end of a chapter. I mean, this is the end of a book, but a new book is being written. So that is my opinion, and that's why I think Black Widow is going to make $1 billion. So to sum it up for you guys, because I kind of rambled a little bit in the middle bits, I think Black Widow is going to make $1 billion because it has the biggest star of any of the comic book movies. It has the biggest star of any of the comic book movies by far, and Scarlett Johansson. She's gonna get an Oscar. She's probably gonna get an Oscar nomination. So her face is gonna be plastered all over things. She's also, this is the first movie in Phase 4, and Marvel's gonna promote the hell out of that, and people are gonna be interested to know why they're making this movie, and they're finally giving Black Widow her movie. It'll have the women behind it. It'll have people. It'll have other people behind it as well. It'll have the nerds wondering why they're making this movie. Why is it a prequel? It'll have all of that going into it. And to top it all off, it's just, there's no evidence that it won't. And all the evidence that I've seen is pointing towards this movie making $1 billion. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, guys, is Do you think Black Widow will make over $1 billion? I do. I personally think Black Widow is going to be the highest grossing of all the comic book films. I think that Wonder Woman might have a higher, might be a better liked film. Maybe, I don't know. I'm holding I have no faith in Birds of Prey, and I am excited as hell for Eternals. But no one knows what it is, and no one's even seen really, you know, an actual frame of anything. Other people have, but I don't know. You know, I have to see a trailer first before I can really say anything. And even then, I'm like, Black Widow's a known commodity. She was in the biggest movie of all time, and if it did Endgame, the more you really think about it, the more it becomes clear to me that Black Widow is going to be the highest grossing movie of this year. Marvel dominance will continue. It obviously won't be as ridiculous as it was before. They only have 2 movies coming out this year. And like I said, that's the thing that bothers me the most, is how people keep talking about Marvel fatigue. They have 2 movies coming out this year, people. Their last movie was in July, and their next movie's not until May. How are you fatigued? You have 10 months. If you're fatigued, then you need to quit. Stop watching movies. So stop watching comic book movies. Thank you guys for joining me on the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.